Why Lois is weirdly attractive. That was the title of our recent video, and the comments let us know immediately that weirdly was the wrong word. So here we are, no qualifiers this time. Maturing is realizing Lois was a babe, and judging by the comments, a lot of you figured that out way before adulthood.
You're the most beautiful woman that ever was, or ever could be.
There's something about Lois that doesn't need explaining, and that's kind of the point. She doesn't follow a beauty regimen. She doesn't dress to impress. She doesn't perform for anyone. She shows up exactly as she is every single day, completely unbothered by what anyone thinks of her.
Yes, can I help you?
Oh, my goodness. Hi. Hello. I'm Carolyn Miller.
And somehow that reads as more magnetic than almost any other character on the show. She's confident, assertive, funny, and completely sure of herself.
He does not need you marching in here, puffing up your little chest and making his life more miserable than it already is. Why don't you just go play army man somewhere else?
Not because life gave her reasons to be, but in spite of the fact that it mostly didn't. She works a cashier job, raises 5 boys who are actively trying to destroy her sanity, and still walks into every room like she owns it.
You just consider yourselves lucky.
That kind of energy is hard to fake and impossible to ignore. One commenter put it perfectly. She's physically attractive, but she's also smart, funny, assertive, and strong. She doesn't take crap from anyone, and she doesn't need anyone's validation to know it. We're barely 5 minutes into the very first episode when the show makes its first statement.
Wild race! Malcolm!
Lois opens the front door topless. She's in the middle of laundry, completely unbothered, and finds Malcolm's teacher Caroline Miller standing outside.
They're just boobs, lady. You see them in the mirror every morning, and I'm sure yours are a lot nicer than mine.
Now, to be fair, Caroline is probably just caught off guard, but she can't look away either. Draw your own conclusions. If you need a reliable indicator of just how attractive Lois is, look at Hal. The man has been completely, unconditionally devoted to her from the very beginning, and his reactions to her are some of the most consistent running jokes in the entire series.
Hal?
There's a moment at a poker night I'll never forget. Lois tells Hal she wants to dance. He says he's not in the mood. She says he's always in the mood.
I'm not like some kind of machine.
Yes, you are.
You can't just snap your fingers.
Yes, I can. I always have.
He immediately gives in. Then there's the dance class itself. The instructor tells Lois she has a dancer's ankles and has outgrown the beginner's class.
This is another instructor. He's across town, but he is the best. He's the only one who can take you to the next level.
In reality, he was just too polite to tell her she was catastrophically bad. Dewey accidentally films the whole thing. When Hal watches the footage, he sees Lois dancing beautifully, completely swept up in love.
Oh my God, I can't believe how beautifully you dance.
While in reality, she's knocking into people and breaking dishes. He asks her to dance. And perhaps the most direct statement Hal ever makes.
Well, honey, that's always been true. Of course I love you more.
And you're okay with that?
His reasoning, if she loved him back with the same intensity, they would never leave the bedroom. There's a moment at a poker game with Hal and his friends where the men start comparing how often they sleep with their wives.
What's the number? Whoa, we're not gonna do this. Just deal the cards, will you?
The numbers are modest. Someone asks Hal. He says 2. Everyone laughs. Only 2 times a week.
Oh, per week? Oh, then 14.
Then there's the episode where Lois has to take antibiotics and they can't be intimate for a week.
No sex for a week.
Wow!
Almost immediately, the house transformed.
Look, I've got strawberries, bananas, peaches, drawn butter, maple syrup, you name it.
The dead front yard turns green. Everything gets fixed. They look at each other and say,
Do you think that's how really successful people just...
Can't think of any other explanation.
One commenter said they wish it actually worked that way. Their house would be spotless. The house falls back into disrepair the moment the antibiotics run out.
Tool belt on.
And when the house gets fumigated and the family has to live in a trailer outside, a few days without privacy sends Hal and Lois at each other's throats.
It's hot. We're all cranky. Will you please just drop it?
Fine.
Hal's solution? Buy gas masks and sneak back into the poisonous house. As one commenter so perfectly put it, they have 6 children for a reason. Hal isn't just devoted, he's irrationally, hilariously jealous of anyone who might be even slightly interested in Lois. When the family visits the zoo and Lois runs into an old ex-boyfriend who works there,
Hey, Matt.
Quite a zoo you've got here. I gotta tell you, this is an exciting day for us.
Hal insists he isn't jealous. The episode then gives us a series of flashbacks showing exactly how jealous he gets. He kicks a meter reader out of the house for wearing shorts that are too short. He storms out of a Tom Cruise movie yelling at Lois about it.
Okay, that's enough. Break it up.
He is so unnervingly, constantly on guard against any man in Lois's orbit that Lois has to remind him it's been 20 years.
Please, can we discuss this tonight?
I don't know, Lois. Maybe you have a date.
Okay, in the first place, this was all over 20 years ago.
The man knows what he has, and he is not letting it go. In the flashback episode, Hal and Lois get into a fight and she demands that he tell her 7 things he loves about her.
7.
He's reluctant at first, then he gets into it,
I love how your neck smells in the morning.
Okay.
and he gets more and more enthusiastic as he goes,
Every one of your toes looks like it came from another person's foot.
until the scene ends in a full reconciliation. When Lois gets mono and has to stay home for a few days, the neighbors finally start inviting Hal to their parties. Someone tries to set him up with an attractive divorced woman. Hal doesn't even register it. The concept of being interested in anyone other than Lois simply doesn't compute.
So I guess I should just go.
And there's the Susan situation. Before Lois, Hal was with her sister Susan for 5 years. 5 years? He left. That's how compelling Lois is. She ended a 5-year relationship just by being in the room. And then there's Craig. He dedicates radio songs to her.
And this next song goes out to a very special lady from Craig.
He shows up with anniversary gifts.
Happy anniversary. 16 wonderful years to the same man. That Hal is one lucky hombre.
He has been hopelessly, transparently in love with Lois for the entire run of the show, and never once came close to hiding it. We made a whole video on his obsession if you want to go deeper on that one. Craig is easy to laugh at, but he's also onto something. The boys entered Lois into the Mrs. Tri-County pageant as a joke. They filled out the form ironically, calling her a warm and loving mother and a beautiful human being.
No, they do all these horrible things and then they go and do something like this.
Reese mailed it before anyone could stop him. Lois found the form, thought her sons were being sincere, entered completely seriously, and won. She won a beauty pageant she was entered into as a prank. Let that sink in. Lois never tried to be attractive. She never adjusted herself to fit what anyone wanted her to be. And somehow that made her one of the most compelling characters in the history of the show. As one commenter on our last video put it, she just has that thing. And if the comments on this video are anything like the last one, a lot of you have some explaining to do. Let me know below.